Good morning and welcome back to Lesson 60. The ideas are for today's review. God is the love in which I forgive. God is the strength in which I trust. There is nothing to fear. God's voice speaks to me all through the day, and I am sustained by the love of God. So we are reviewing lessons 46 through 50, and this is our final review. And during the workbook, we will be stopping every 50 lessons to do 10 days of review. It's really nice. And the lessons have a supplementary paragraph that really condenses the lesson practically. So I really enjoy the review lessons, and I hope you do also. We will begin today's final review. Lesson 46, God is the love in which I forgive. God does not forgive because he has never condemned. The blameless cannot blame, and those who have accepted their innocence see nothing to forgive. Yet forgiveness is the means by which I will recognize my innocence. It is the reflection of God's love on earth. It will bring me near enough to heaven that the love of God can reach down to me and raise me up to him. God is the strength in which I trust. It is not my own strength through which I forgive. It is through the strength of God in me, which I am remembering as I forgive. As I begin to see, I recognize his reflection on earth. I forgive all things because I feel the stirring of his strength in me. And I begin to remember the love I chose to forget, but which has not forgotten me. Lesson 48. There is nothing to fear. How safe the world will look to me when I can see it. It will not look anything like what I imagine I see now. Everyone and everything I see will lean toward me to bless me. I will recognize in everyone my dearest friend. What could there be to fear in a world that I have forgiven and that has forgiven me? Lesson 49. God's voice speaks to me all through the day. There is not a moment in which God's voice ceases to call on my forgiveness to save me. There's not a moment in which his voice fails to direct my thoughts, guide my actions, and lead my feet. I am walking steadily on toward truth. There is nowhere else I can go because God's voice is the only voice and the only guide that has been given to his Son. Lesson 50. I am sustained by the love of God. As I listen to God's voice, I am sustained by his love. As I open my eyes, his love lights up the world for me to see. As I forgive, his love reminds me that his Son is sinless. And as I look upon the world with the vision he has given me, I remember that I am his son. What a beautiful celebratory set of lessons. And also, if we're feeling like we can't do this, when we read through these 5 lessons, we realize it's not us doing anything. We are agents of God. So we don't have to muster up our own strength. We turn to his strength. It's pretty cool. Let's begin our 2-minute practice. God is the love in which I forgive. Breathing in, forgiveness is the means by which I will recognize my innocence. Breathing out, it is the reflection of God's love on earth. Breathing in, God is the strength in which I trust. Breathing out, it is not my own strength through which I forgive. Breathing in, there is nothing to fear. Breathing out, everyone and everything I see will lean toward me to bless me. Cool. Breathing in, what could there be to fear in a world that I have forgiven? Breathing out, this world has also forgiven me. Breathing in, God's voice speaks to me all through the day. Breathing out, I am walking steadily on toward truth. Breathing in, there is not a moment in which His voice fails to direct my thoughts. Breathing out, His voice guides my actions and leads my feet. Breathing in, I am sustained by the love of God. Breathing out, I remember that I am His son. Breathing in, as I open my eyes, His love lights up the world for me to see. Breathing out, as I forgive, His love reminds me that His Son is sinless. There's a lot of His in that one. In case that's an issue for you, we can substitute son with child, with son and daughter. Also, God isn't feminine or masculine, so we can refer to God as Father, Mother God. As I open my eyes, God's love lights up the world for me to see. As I forgive, God's love reminds me that His children are sinless. And breathing in and out just for another moment together to really enjoy the gift of God's strength, the gift of God's vision, the gift of God's voice speaking to us all through the day. And our job is to ask for the willingness to listen, to hear, to be aware, to see beyond our illusions and start seeing the truth. I think this is my favorite phrase here. Everyone and everything I see will lean toward me to bless me. There is nothing to fear. It's pretty awesome. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to pick up with lesson 61. I am the light of the world. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.